Hello, everybody. Joe Bag of Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Tsukihime Remake. Where last time we left off, things happened. It's been a hot minute. I apologize for that. Not really too much I could have done about it. Uh, the first couple days after the last episode, I was transitioning my sleep schedule to an overnight one. Well, sleep during the day. I'd be awake overnight because I was working the week leading up to and a little past Christmas, 7 days straight, overnight. It was like midnight to noon. So that definitely took it out of me. And then I worked that week, which afterwards, you work 12 hours straight, you get home. The last thing on my mind is to sit down and be like, oh, let me record a two-hour video and then process it and then upload it and then not go to bed for an hour and a half after the video's, done recording because of all the other stuff I need to do to get it live. So that was kind of the holiday break there. And then now it's the new year. Hello, 2025. Can't believe we lived to see it. But now I got to transition my schedule back to a day shift one, and I'm failing horribly. The first couple of days I was just in a groggy state of mind, like almost it felt like I was sick, but I knew I wasn't because I had no other symptoms besides feeling like shit because I'm trying to stay up essentially overnight multiple days in a row. I go to sleep and then I wake up and you don't sleep very good because your body's like, you should be awake right now, so let's wake you up after 4 hours of sleep, not like go back to sleep. It's like, oh. And then yesterday was New Year's Eve, which I was gonna record, but I actually had a decent excuse for not doing it this time. We had a horrific thunderstorm blow through, and I live in a shitty old house with questionable, wiring and electric supply. So I've lost power quite a few times, and the power grid is okay here, but I have had transformers on my street explode before, so I didn't want to risk it. And also, it was really, really loud out. Like, it was really loud. Like, the cracks of thunder, fucking ear splitting, was right over us. The siren, the doomsday siren that's always going off, was going off basically nonstop. And I just didn't want to lose power in the middle of a recording because I've had that happen before. And when that happens, there's a chance that the video that's been recorded, it pretty much gets corrupted. And even if the video is saved, it doesn't have like the audio track, and it's useless. You got to start over, and that's the worst thing that can happen. Because God forbid, I have to start over after an hour and a half. Ugh. It's bad enough reading stuff that you already know what's going to happen, but doing it again right after you just did it is spirit killing. It makes you want to die. But, ladies and gents, how's your New Year's going? How's your Christmas? Like I said, I worked on mine, so my Christmas kind of sucked. New Year's was all right. I made a chicken breast and some like mashed potatoes and had like a single beer. Now that it's the new year, and I have been dieting. I've already lost some weight, but now I got my old whiteboard out, which the last time I used it, it still had like my Umineko conspiracy theory fucking chart on there for, when was it? It was in chapter 8. The game asked you like, all right, wise guy, fucking solve a mystery for yourself for once, and you're like, fuck. And I had to write everything out. So make sure to go watch my entire Umineko series, which if you put on the playlist and watch it start to finish, you'll finish in about a week and some change. I've added up all the hours it's taken for that one because it was so long, and it's something like over 7 days straight of content. If you're ever in the mood, to really get glued into your chair and watch something good. besides what you're watching right now, no backhanded compliments to Tsukihime Remake here. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Fortunately, I'll be starting to teach my class soon in a couple of days, so I'll be moving to a more standard. I was about to say 9 to 5, but realistically, it's like an 8 to 3. And even then, class is gonna get released most days at like 1, with an hour and a half lunch in between. The first part and second part of the day. Just because it's one of those things, like, we have our curriculum, but if we stay for the whole day, we'll blow through the curriculum and be sitting around for a week and a half with nothing to do, just doing reviews. And, like, sure, reviewing is good, it helps you learn, but you eventually reach a point where you're no longer there. You're just checked out. And it sounds miserable for them. It'd be fucking miserable for me, because it's stuff I already know. So going over it and over and over and over it every single day is one of the worst fates imaginable. But some of it I still need to brush up on just a little bit. Some of the radio side stuff. We just merged career fields a little bit ago, a little over a year. And it's like, yes, I am qualified on those systems, however, it's still the workload of 2 different, work centers now combined into one. So when stuff gets tasked out, it's like, okay, you go do that thing you already know how to do, and we'll go do that thing we already know how to do. And you end up with not as much experience on your new systems as you might like, but in the end of the day, I just gotta read through the manuals, which in and of itself is kind of mind numbing. It's like 400 pages of just technical specifications. It's not too bad. It's kind of like reading a Wikipedia article. And there are some pictures. They're not particularly fun pictures. It's like schematic breakdowns, but it's enough that I'm able to kind of piece it together with my secondhand knowledge, and then read off a slideshow to my students. And if they have any questions, I'm like, that's good. Why don't we look that up together, and kind of play it off as, I'm letting them find it for themselves, but I'm helping them. I'm building those skills, those information searching skills for when they need to find something on their own. But really, I'm also looking it up so I can be like, oh, fucking, what frequency range is ultra high again? But yeah, that's how my week's been going. Just making some coffee. Took me a little longer to get started recording on this, because I had put my coffee on. At least I thought I did. Came back, waited like 15 minutes, went back for it, and I'm like, motherfucker. I put the water in the machine, I put the pot underneath, and then I just never turned it on. So then I had to wait for like another 30 minutes. And now here we are. And then I had my protein shake, and then it's like, well, I can't record right away because now my throat's all kind of grimy from drinking that thing. And I don't want to be hawking and making weird noises into the microphone, which, to be fair, that's what I do on most of these episodes, is you just hear me talk, make weird noises, like I've been doing for the past fucking 10 minutes. Jesus Christ, got to get the show on the road here. But I don't want it to be too bad, A little is acceptable. But when it's like gross throat noises, then it's kind of like, I don't want to hear that. You guys don't want to hear that, unless you do, in which case, DM me and we'll talk about prices. Okay. Let's get back to it. We're in kind of the resolution stage here, but not quite. But it's like, we're kind of, it's peaks and valleys, It's spiked up there with Noel. Now we're coming down a bit, but it's still, we're on shaky ground. Let's see how it plays out, yeah? The night passed in the blink of an eye. Ciel and I are wide awake, staring at the ceiling. Man, you can tell it's
夜は絶
been
対
like
に
2
眠っ
weeks
ちゃい
since
け
I
ません。
recorded.
逆に日中なら眠っていいですよ。ロアは吸血種ですから、朝になれば鎮静化します。
Yeah, otherwise you might take your body out for a joyride. Thank God. I'm almost on 2 full days without sleep. I couldn't have taken much more. We talked about other things too. Like what would happen if I ended up having to go to the church in person.
そもそもどんなに手続きをして許可を取っても吸血鬼なら門前払いを受けるんじゃないですか。
It's complicated.
それは大丈夫です。遠野くんは血を吸ってもいなければ、人を殺してもいないでしょ。吸血鬼になりかけていても無実なんですから。裏口からならそろっと
You
入り
say
ます。
that, but we've seen Noelle turn people into hamburger meat who are in the exact same situation, and the church is full of plenty of eclectic, eccentric weirdos that might be more in her wavelength than yours. Not a lot of sympathy for the devil in the church, you might say. With the gaps in my memory, can I say that for sure? Let alone after what I did to her, to Kohaku.
だから記憶はないんでしょ。ならやっぱり潔白です。精神面での話ではなく、現実のお話として。
That's a coping method for sure. Not really sure if it's a good one, but
自分の記憶がないのに何もしていないと断言できるんですか。
yeah, what do you mean?
はい。実際に行為に及んでいる記憶がないのなら、あなたは罪を犯していない。
Are you saying that because you remember everything,
いいですか、
or
遠野くん。転生体の意識とロアの意識は同じなんです。たとえロアの意識が上回って行動した時があっても、自分のしたことは必ず記憶しています。
they're different folders on the same PC, but you have access to both of them, so
殺害の
the
記
fact that you
憶が
can't
な
find
い
any memories
と
means
い
they
う
don't
のは
exist.
何よりも
Gotcha.
確かな無罪証明なんです。
Even as I sigh with relief, I realize again how heavy a burden she bears. Whatever Roa does with your body, you'll remember it. That can only mean she's had to look every last one of her sins in the eye. The sky grows lighter outside the window. Soon it'll be time. I listen silently as Ciel talks. If I open my mouth, I'll end up asking her to stay. So instead, I soak in all I can of her breath and her warmth and her touch. Clothing rustles in the darkened room. The sky is still a deep indigo when Ciel slips out of bed and puts on her habit. I study her profile from under the covers.
時間ですね。遠野くんをポケットにしまえたら一緒にいられるのに。
I mean, you could get a backpack, you're strong enough to carry him. Or like a big dog kennel. We can't be together every moment of the day. This isn't the first time we've said goodbye, and I'm sure it won't be the last. If we can't find any solutions at the church, we'll have to deal with Roa ourselves. Worst comes to worst, I'd rather she'd be the one to.
死なせません。あなたは絶対に死なせない。ロアなんかに遠野くんは渡さない。私があなたを守ります。必ず救ってみせる。
Yeah, and, you know, if nothing at the church, we'll just get a Winnebago and go on the run, you know, they'll never catch us.
だからそんなこと言わないでください。
言ってないです。先輩の気のせいですから、それ。でも
I stop myself before I say, thank you. There's nothing to thank her for. I let my mind wander for a moment, that's all.
行ってきます。できるだけ早く戻ってきますから、それまでこの部屋から出ないでくださいね。
Do you at least have a TV? A radio, even? She even left me with a week's worth of food. The majority of which is microwavable curry, but I shouldn't complain.
また言うまでもありませんが、私がいない間に浮気なんかしないでくださいね。私すごく嫉妬深いですから。
Yeah, stay away from blonde home wreckers. It's bad for your health. With a blood-curdling smile, she closes the door behind her. I squint against the sunbeams pouring through the window. The sun is rising. Now I can finally sleep. While I still can, I push aside the doubts swimming around my chest and close my eyes. Damn, he just like me, for real, going to sleep while the sun's up. I've been going to bed at like 9, 10 a.m. recently. It's kind of rough. I will save here. Mainly because now we're in the true end game, and this is kind of where we get our good and true ends, or normal and good. I forget how they're labeled in this one. Even now, I hold them fast in my heart. Those worthless memoirs of a self I no longer call my own. The dying screams of a man I used to be, before I embarked upon this voyage through infinity. Did my goals change along the way? No, my destination remains the same. I gaze upon eternity, never once seeking or expecting reward. Mine was a noble desire in its purest form. But other things have changed. I have changed. My understanding of eternity and my means of realizing it have changed. Once, I sought to witness perfection. Now, I seek only time to obtain completion for myself. My own baseness disgusts me, but my heart is set. It's all her fault. That woman, that white woman, she robbed me of my purity. Humans are too feeble to live 1,000 years. Neither our bodies nor our minds can bear the weight. A vampire constitution may strengthen the body, but it cannot allay the degradation of the mind. Mental maturation may be forestalled, but the price is stasis. An unchanging mind thinking unchanging thoughts, a worldview detached from the march of progress. I can discern no value in such an existence. Human weakness obliges them to constantly adapt. If I am one of them, I must retain that same purity. To be one of them. Why? Because anything less would render my efforts moot. I must witness the conclusion to the human story, not as a reader, but as a character with a part to play. Anything less would leave her forever out of reach. Yeah, Roa has big main character syndrome. Kind of an issue, especially because he's not the main character. No, my decision is made. Reincarnation is the way. I will start over from nothing, become myself anew, and die. In submitting to this cycle, I can preserve the purity of myself. My eternity will be no perpetuation of my ego, but the trial left in my wake as I drift upon the tides of time. The trail, not trial. Goddamn dyslexia. Such was the final act of resistance of my old self, in the face of the man he had become. Or so it should have been. While my logic remained sound throughout the ages, I myself was not so steadfast. During one of the many stops of my voyage for eternity, I lost sight of my vision. I began to pursue eternity for my own sake, like any common dead apostle. Roa the visionary could not have imagined the degradation that would wreak. Did it say degradation or did it say destruction? I was like looking at my coffee because I was trying not to drop it on my keyboard, but... nope, it was degradation. Okay. All I knew was that, for the first time, I felt hatred. I would never have known this disappointment, this disgrace, had it not been for her. Yeah, stay off YouTube. Stay away from the fucking black pill content, Roa. You're not built for that. A man from the 1500s cannot handle the mind-altering power that would be watching middle-aged men bitch about women on YouTube and podcasts. He has no shot. He'd be gone. He'd be done. He'd feel so fucking vindicated. I feel as though I've been hoisted up from the ocean. I awakened to eyeball-popping pressure, and a voice uncompromising like an immovable boulder. Thump. It's a new day. The clock tells me it's midnight. I must have slept for over 12 hours, like a fossil. Buddy, that's me on all my days off. Don't call me that. I've never heard that voice before. I've never seen that sight in my life. But I can hazard a guess what, or rather, whom, I was looking at. Thump. My head feels like it's being bludgeoned. Brings to mind those hammers used to crush crab shells. A tool for pulverizing organic matter, even if it's no longer living. Thump. Picturing someone merrily cracking open crabs, I can't help but think that out of all the world's predators, humans surely enjoy the most luxury. Thump. This pain is gonna crush the life out of me before Roa can even take over. Why is he throwing such a tantrum? He needs his body intact as much as I do, if he wants to inhabit it. All he'll accomplish by turning my skull into pulp is killing us both. Is his hatred for her strong enough to blind him? Well, for all he cares, you can die and he'll just start over. Just a little road bump. Compared to, like, the end of the road for you. Another hammer strike knocks me to the floor. But no concussion comes. These blows are not coming from the outside, but from within. You should probably drink some water, bud. My body spasms all over. Motor signals misfire up and down my brainstem. Lying on the floor, I throw up the contents of my stomach, and when there's nothing left to vomit, I start to cough up blood. Cut it out. My head's gonna split apart. I can feel my skull cracking. My limbs twitch violently, like a dog with an electrode jammed into its brain. Okay. You see a lot of those? I can't feel my skull anymore. It's like the top of my head has been sawed off, exposing my brain to the open air. But even then... Even then, my headache won't go away. In a desperate attempt at reprieve, I bash the source of my pain against the table. Fortunately, the table is made of glass, so it shatters rather than my cranium. Not that it would have made a difference if it were solid wood. What I just used for a hammer is the hardest part of the human body. Anything less than a bone saw or a laser scalpel won't leave a scratch. Yeah, especially the front part of your skull is like the thickest and strongest. Blood trickles down from my forehead. I don't feel a thing, of course. Not when a mallet bludgeoning my head is 1,000 times worse. I can't take this much longer. I can't let myself pass out. How many minutes, how many seconds are passing between the flashes of pain? This is unbearable. I stab my knife through my hand to distract myself, but it does nothing. It barely tickles. But I've got it. The lines. The lines must be doing this. If I can just put my glasses on, then... Mm-hmm. No, don't laugh. If I start laughing, I'll never stop. Oh, but how can I not? This is a riot. I'm totally screwed. Ciel hasn't come back yet. Hasn't even been 10 minutes since I woke up. Is this happening because it's nighttime? Still over 6 hours until dawn. That thought alone almost drives me crazy. My breaking point came and went a long time ago. If I have to endure any more of this, I'll be cold and dead by the time Ciel gets back. Have to find my own way out. My own way out. My own way out. Be quiet, alarm. It's not time for you to go off. We don't need to listen to any more Goldfinger. The solution is obvious. Only one factor could be causing this. My headaches were never this bad in my own bedroom. So it must be this apartment that's to blame. This headache is from being cooped up in here. Out. I have to get out, or I'll really lose it. To be fair, it's stark white walls with like bright, not neon. What is it? You know, the white kind of light, not the warm like incandescent bulbs. Or is it incandescent? Whatever. The stark white hard light. That gives me a headache. Someone warned me against doing this very thing. I'm aware of the danger. Maybe this headache is trying to lure me into a trap. Maybe it isn't. Either way, once I'm outside, I'll have nowhere left to go. But outside is still away from here. If I leave, I can buy myself a few more hours. If I stay, I won't even have that long. My legs tremble as I approach the door. My gasping breaths carry no trace of human warmth. I feel no thirst, no hunger, no lust. My mind is shrouded in fog. Yet one idle impulse remains. An inexplicable urge to gaze upon the golden moon. The world warps around me. My vision worsens by the second. The city is bare of any sign of life. Spiderwebs drape from building to building, swaddling the world in a great cocoon. White fog hangs over the midnight streets, making of them the ruins of a long-dead empire. These visions and more torment me as I walk on. A golden moon shines above me, more brilliant than ever. Its light must be a blessing. My headache has disappeared entirely, leaving my mind tranquil as the ocean floor. And so I arrive at my destination, as though drawn by fate, and perhaps compelled. Not that it matters one way or another. The stone plaza shimmers silver in the moonlight. In a world where all is an uncertain haze, all I can make out is her beautiful shadow. Yeah, get rid of those filters. With a gulp, I drag myself back to reality. The city sets, leaving us alone in the world, beneath a moon of as dazzling as the midday sun.
こんばんは。私の素敵な殺人鬼さん。
Hello!
こうして会うのは久しぶりね。
It's been like 3 days, but okay. There she stands, as I've seen her in my dreams. Arcuid, Princess of Vampires. At first, I wonder if it's a trick of my fraying sanity. But no. The Arcuid looks the same as ever. Something about her demeanor has changed. She has neither the regal bearing from Roa's memories, nor the carefree innocence I recall from my own. Now she stands somewhere in between.
アルクエイド、お前帰ったんじゃなかったのか。
あら、どうしてそう思うの？私、自分からこの町を去ると告げたかしら。
Oh, you're just gonna hang around and be another, eccentric character in the cast of this town? Kinda got enough of those already, and most of them live at his house, but... She smiles knowingly. Her manner is both beautiful and terrifying. She's at once a graceful maiden plucking flower petals, and a cruel child ripping out a butterfly's wings. Even now, my first instinct is to run at her and pick up where we left off. Run to her, not at her. Never meant to fall out with her, especially not to the point we'd stop speaking. Something tells me to keep my distance. All my senses are screaming at me in alarm. The only reason she's still here is to find Roa. Ergo, if she learns that I'm Roa's host, she'll have every reason to want to kill me. I'm pretty sure she can, track him down fairly easily, considering it's complicated, but considering Roa got his power from her, is she technically his sire? But it's more like he tricked her into getting it, so I don't know if she has that power, but it seems like she'd be able to kind of sense where he is and be like, weird, he's right in front of me, how odd. I don't think Arcuid is that stupid.
ロアはもう死んだって言ったのはお前だろ。死者の後始末だって先輩がやってくれるんだし、お前がこの町に残る理由はもうないんじゃないか。
I keep my tone flat, trying to hide my fear. Only repeating what she said to me before. Surely she'll be convinced by her own words.
ええ、棺にいたロアが殺したわ。でもロアそのものは殺していない。私には魂を殺す手段はないって。シキも知っているでしょ。
そうだったな。次の転生を待つしかないんだっけ。
What a shame.
その事情が変わったの。運がいいことに10年以上も待つ必要はなくなった。だってロアは私の目の前にいるんだもの。
Ooh, what a quinky dink. Silence falls. Arcuid's crimson eyes turn savagely on me. My lungs freeze. Goosebumps ripple across my skin. Before such a deeply alien presence, my reality starts to unravel. I can't breathe. My throat is paralyzed. Every last instinct screams that if I move so much as a muscle, my head will roll. It's more like your head will be turned into like pulp, but when I was still human, I had the luxury of ignorance. But not anymore. My vampiric senses leave me in no doubt of the danger I'm in. I can't beat her. I can't even flee. We may both be vampires, and that's where the similarity ends. Might have, well, have been an ant trying to take down an elephant. Yeah, it's like saying a house cat and a saber-toothed tiger are the
あん
same.
な女に肩入れしなければ
There's
そん
some
な目に
mild
遭わなかった
disparity.
のにね。
For whatever reason, she doesn't move. For now. Is it because she knows she could dispatch me at any time? No. She's watching me for something.
そんな目ってなんだよ。毎日充実してるぞ、俺。
物は言いようね。信じた人間に殺されかけたり、吸血鬼になった女に殺されかけたりしたのが充実。そんなことでいいのなら、私も混ざればよかったかな。
Look, Shigi's a bit of an ass guy, so he's happy
私を裏切った式
regardless
の
of
た
the
めに、
situation with
も
Ciel.
っと残酷な遊びを考えてあげたのに。
So that's why she's so upset. I must really have hurt her by siding with Ciel. I should have realized, but it's too late for that. I had no way of knowing at the time. Now I'm all too aware. Argued and Ciel are fundamentally opposed. Their differences can never be reconciled.
まあいいわ。シエルの話はしないであげる。今はもっと聞きたいことがあるんだし。それで、
No, let's talk about, you know,
自
stupid
分の中
mundane
にロア
stuff.
がいる感想は、
He can win you back over with that.
あの時みたいに。
You're real good at this mission-oriented stuff, but it's that tertiary stuff that really he can win you over on.
やっぱり私を殺したくてたまらない。
I'm thrown into momentary freefall. For all I know, the world really did just shudder. With the smile of a girl picking a flower from the heavens, she rounds on me with indescribable hostility. I see it clearly now. Argued has come to kill me. That's why she's here. They're just shy of 7 meters between us. 7 meters? Or even 100 wouldn't be enough.
あのな、何度も言うけど、人を殺人鬼扱いするな。俺がおかしくなるのはお前に対してだけだ。殺せるか殺せないかなんていつだって考えてる。
Yeah, and it was only that one time, unless you're into the whole like, oh, it's really hot when a guy wants to kill me thing, because some people that's their thing, and hey, good for you, but maybe find a healthier outlet for your feelings. What a weird thing to say. Why am I agreeing with her? Or is that just truly how I feel?
相変わらずおかしな人ね。殺人鬼じゃないって言い張るのに、私だけは特別なの？それとも嘘つきなのかしら？
うるさい！黙ってろ、吸血鬼！
There we go, she loves it when we call her stupid.
大体な、嘘つきなのはそっちだろ。
See, he's getting the initiative.
お前、最初から知ってたんだろ。地下にいたロアを殺した後、ロアが俺に転移したことを。
ええ、もちろん。ロアは私が使徒にしたやつだもの。奪われた自分の力がどこで脈
Walk
付い
in
て
on
い
him
る
with
か
like
な
dowsing
んて
rods. Be
簡
like, he's
単
over
に
here.
感じ取れる。覚えてる？シキが私に協力すると言ってくれた夜、死者の食堂を壊した後のこと。
And you've done nothing with that info since? Right. Actually, that was when my headache started. Girl must have reacted badly to me opening up to Arcuid.
そうかよ。じゃああれか。死者狩りは物のついでで、本命は俺の監視だったのか。
it's hard to say with Arcuid. Like, that's too intelligent for her to come up with. It's probably just because she was having fun.
ああ、そっか。そういうことになるのね。式から見ると。
Yeah, but that was just a plus. That was a
暗殺って意味じゃ合っ
bonus.
てるから、それでいいか。いろいろな意味であなたは希少だったから。ドアはここに来て法則を変えた。次の時代に移るのではなく、この時代にとどまって永続しようとした。今まで何回も繰り返してきたパターンを放棄したのよ。それが罠かどうか見極める時間も欲しかった。
Crimson eyes are unrelenting. I can feel my headache returning under her gaze. Sparks of pain bursting inside my head. A sign of that row is stirring.
疑問はあるわ。どうしてロワはあなたに転移したのか。あなたはどうしてそんなことが可能な体なのか。
Because he's really cool, and also his host this time around really had a grudge, and they already had a connection, so it was the easiest body to hop to, and it was also convenient that it was a really good body that fit like all his criterias.
でも、もう気にするのはやめることにしたの。だって、殺してしまえば結果は同じでしょ。
The pain is sickening. Roa's memories writhe inside my skull every time Arcuid speaks his name. Thump. Thump. Lots of thumping. A faraway memory surfaces. A starry abyss uncharted by human hands. A mountaintop castle aglow with lunar flowers. An inner sea, the highest and deepest in all the world. And the woman kept prisoner in its heart. A sight seared into the soul of a man reduced to memory. I envy him, for this glimpse of eternity is his alone. Kept in ignorance of her own meaning as a true ancestor. She is charged to hunt her fallen kin. She knows nothing of language, of mortality, of time. Above, a great canopy obscures the cosmos. Below, the moonlit flowers pale before her radiance. And he thought her beautiful. For the first time in his life. And the last, no doubt, until his dying day. Mikhail Roa Valdemjong fell in love. Try as I might, there's no denying it. This is Roa's last remaining human emotion. All other shreds of his former self are indecipherable, rewritten beyond recognition over countless years and countless lives. But a single scorched moment lies untouched amid the cinders. Memories whose brilliance no number of lifetimes can dim. Cosmically simple answer to life's mysteries that turned a theologian's world upside down. Now I see. That was why he hated Arcuid so viciously. He had no choice. She stole his innocence. A single glimpse of her overturned his every conviction. That moonlit flower embodied the futility of his grand thesis. What else could he do but despise her very being? His life's work slipped through his fingers like sand. All he could do was curse his own foolish weakness, to protest how easily his dream was usurped. His pride and zeal left him no choice but enmity. He made of her a nemesis whom he might defeat and debase, and in so doing regain his former self. As a man of God, his path was sound, but as a human, it was fatally mistaken. The man who once sought the most powerful true ancestor in order to become immortal, in the end became immortal in order to bring the most powerful true ancestor to her knees. Roa stole Arcuid away, while she remained ignorant of her own vampirism, then coerced her into drinking his blood to bind her soul to his. With this single act, all the powers of a vampire became his to command, while for her moment of weakness, Arcuid lost her mind and slaughtered her fellow true ancestors. It was for that purpose that he pushed Arcuid to the brink, obtained immortality through transmigration, and ceded his lifespan to her control. How could he have been so blind? Thought it was loathing that compelled him to wait for Arcuid lifetime after lifetime. No loathing could accomplish that. In all his years devoted to dissecting the human experience, he learned nothing of the human heart. What was it that he felt for her so strongly that it drove him to alter his course? It may resemble hatred, but hatred can never beget such faith. Above all else, Roa had faith in Arcuid. Faith that she would follow him, deny him, and kill him, time after time, and so lead him to eternity. He knew that destination was a fantasy, yet embarked upon his voyage nonetheless. And so he forged onwards into infinity. He cast his soul adrift on the tides of time, knowing its journey would outlast the man who began it. Such is the ending Michael Roa Valdemjong chose. A little end for a little man who never learned what drove him was called love. I'm choking on my coffee. Ugh. And that, kids, is what abstinence-based sexual education does. It turns you into a regressed weirdo. Like, just bust and get over it, my guy. In an instant, or perhaps a lifetime, the last testament of a man who sought infinity through reincarnation, the man at the root of all this tragedy, passed before my eyes. Arcuid watches on wordlessly. She still emanates hostility, bristling with bloodlust. But she allows me time to recover from this reprieve. Reverie, not reprieve. For a brief moment, the idea that this all might be some kind of sick joke crosses my mind.
余裕ね。考える時間をあげたのに、そんな無駄なことに使うなんて。逃げる算段はしないの？それともとっくに観念して、私に首を差し出すつもりなの？シキ。
I mean, that'd be nice, but let's think about this logically here, Arcuid. You want to kill Roa, yeah? But you don't have a way to do it. So if you kill Shiki here, you're just kicking that can down the road, and you'll just have to do it again. However, just gotta explain, well, I was about to say, like, oh yeah, we're working with Ciel to get Roa out of her head, and then he's gone for good, because a soul cannot exist without a body. That's what fucking the third magic is for. It'll just degrade and disintegrate. So even though you really don't like the idea of us hanging out with Ciel, if we can, it's for your benefit that we just let this thing ride out, and we get Roa out, and then mission accomplished, and then we can all go home, you know, arms slung over each other's shoulders, and then freeze frames as we're walking down the road, and then it fades to like sepia tone and the credits roll, while like a cheesy 80s rock ballad plays for the credits.
だよな。
Yeah, guess not. Yeah, there's no way I'm lucky enough for it to be that easy. I'm a vampire now, and Arcuid doesn't mess around when it comes to her fellow vampires.
どっちもありえない話だ。俺はロアなんてやつには負けない。明日になれば、きっと。
I'm sure Ciel will come back with an answer. My job is to survive until then. I can't let Arcuid kill me here.
やっぱり四季はそうでなくちゃ。あなたはどんな時でも強がりを言っていた。自分の状態を把握した上でできもしないことを達成するために本気で自分の命を使っていた。だから私も確信していたわ。あなたは簡単にロアにはならない。塔の指揮という意志が残っているうちは最後まであなたのままなんだって。
It also probably helps that, you know, like you said, Roa just kind of hopped directly from his other previous reincarnation as Shiki, you know, not our Shiki, you know what I mean? Into Shiki here. And there's kind of like a miscompare there, you know? It's like his spiritual immune system is fighting it compared to if he was, you know, reincarnated with Roa inside of him and then they kind of grow and germinate together. It's a part of him, you know. I'd imagine it's harder to resist at that point, but considering it's an outside entity now injected in there, they can't mix. It's kind of like if you pour, like, you know, you do that experiment in school with the water and the oil and the soap. You'll put them all on each other, and even if you mix them up, they'll eventually separate themselves again just because of, like, the difference in densities. It's like that. You know, instead of Shiki and Roa being, oh, this is blue-colored water and this is red-colored water, and they get mixed together into something different. If you mix the oil and the soap together, you know, let's say, I don't know, Shiki's the soap, because he seems boring like that, and Roa's the oil because he's, I don't know, Italian? He's olive oil? Well, he wouldn't really be Italian with that name, but, you know, he was in Rome, so let's go with that. He likes olive oil because he spent time in the Vatican. Anyway, even if they get all mixed together, they'll just separate. They can't fully intermingle. Arcuid's voice is almost cheerful. She exudes danger, but there's no animosity in it. Perhaps she's just decided to kill me at her leisure. But it seems more like she's genuinely enjoying our conversation. Well, she did like talking to you. Come to think of it, this park means a lot to us. We used to meet up here, swore to work together here. Neither of us wanted to sully those memories. That's one line we've yet to cross. In which case, there still may be room for a peaceful resolution. If I can somehow convince Arcuid to back down, I might have half a chance of making it until morning.
そりゃありがたい。そこまで信じてるんなら、もう放っておいてくれ。
Pretty please?
ロアとは俺がきっちり型をつける。結果はどうなるにしろ、必ず息の根を止めて、転生を終わらせてやる。だから、お前はこのまま。
Yeah, there we go.
帰れっていうのなら聞かないわ。
Mm-hmm. Even if she's shooting herself in the foot for this, she doesn't care just because it fucks over Ciel.
指揮が当てにしているのは教会の連中でしょ。あいつらにロアを封印されるのはお断りよ。ロアを処分するのは自分の力を取り戻すためでもある。だからね、ロアを内包した人間は私の手で始末をつけないと意味がないわ。
That also kind of throws a bit of a wrench in the works.
バカ、それだって意味がないぞ。ロアの転生体を殺したところで奴は生き続ける。お前が奴に与えちまった血だ。
私が与えた血が何？
My words stopped dead in my throat. Oh yeah, she hasn't told you that. You just have the memories. So she brought it up on her own last time, but it's a really sore subject. Every muscle in my body tenses. It's like my consciousness has been forcefully ejected from my body and wrestled out of my control. Death just breathed down my neck. I came very close to pressing Arcuid's berserk
ロア
button.
に取られた力だって。
Yeah,
戻らない
yeah. Word it a little more softly.
全部はね、 でも封印と転生は別よ。今封印されたら力を横取りされたままだけど、殺して転生させてしまえばたった10年程度のことだけど、気持ちは落ち着くわ。人間だって自分の小指を他人に使われたら嫌でしょ。それと同じよ。
We're in a more similar boat than you think, Ark. I get it now. Killing me won't sever Arcuit and Roa's connection, but it would render it inert, at least for the time he spends gestating inside his new host. That's why she has to wait until he awakens before seeking him out. That's why she keeps killing him in the absence of a more permanent solution. And I am no exception. Every moment she leaves Roa's host alive is another moment Roa can use her power as his own. Killing them won't solve the root of the problem, but it's better than allowing Roa free reign.
そうかよ。それじゃどうしても。
Yeah, Roa's like a rash, you know. He flares up and he gets itchy and she scratches it until it goes away. But then it comes back and she just won't go to the dermatologist to get like a skin cream to deal with it because the dermatologist is Catholic and she just can't stand him. I'm a dead man walking.
でもね、シキ。あなたの中にいるロアの波動は弱々しいわ。きっとあいつは胎児から始めないとその人間になり変われない。
Yep.
私に転生体を潰されてなんとかあなたの中に転移したのはいいけど、それが限界。ロアとあなたは意識こそ溶け合うものの、完全に上書きされることはない。
完全には上書きされない。
Yeah, like I said.
アルクエド。そ
See,
れって。
I got a solid foundation of this bullshit Nasu system. I can piece things together.
ええ。ロアの純度はますます下がるでしょう。
That's why I got this teaching gig. I can break things down into dummy mode, like I did with that soap and oil.
それなら殺すまでもない。私はロアに奪われた力が私の下で動けばそれでいいんだから。
She doesn't need to kill Roa? But then, why is she here? Why is she staring at me with such apprehension?
わからないな。何が言いたいんだ。
あなたに私のしもべになれと言っているのよ。
Yeah, you know, Roa's kind of been, you know, he kind of absconded with that power and was running around using it for his own devices, but you know, if you sign the vampiric feudal contract and, you know, she becomes your liege lord, then that power is hers again via, you know, via the pyramid scheme, you know. It's just rented out to you. It's still hers, she's just letting you use it. Instead of, you know, it being taken for a joyride. My brain goes blank and my lungs freeze. For once, not because she's intimidating me. She really means it. I can feel the weight of what she's asking, hanging behind every single word. I grit my teeth, fight back the tears welling in my eyes. It's over. What's been said can't be unsaid. Any chance of reconciliation died with those words. The friendship we shared is gone, never to return. All I can do now is accept the loss.
私、本気だから。返事を聞かせて。
I hear something unthinkable in her voice. She's nervous. My worst headache yet explodes behind my eyes. Inside me, Roa rails against Arcuit's request. Whether his anger is born of disappointment with her or envy of me, I can't tell.
私のしもべになるのなら、ロアの侵食は止めてあげる。
Yeah, sorry, Roa, you're getting eternally fucking handcuffed to the cuck chair in the corner of his mind.
それで今までの塔の式の生活はおしまい。これからは夜の世界に生きるものになるけど、あなたのあり方は維持されるわ。
Mm-hmm.
そのままじゃあなたは大なり小なり自分が失われるんだから、 考えるまでもないと思うけど。
簡単に言ってくれるな。どうやってロアを抑え込むって言うんだよ。
I don't think she plans to.
あら、ロアを止められるのはあなただけよ、シキ。けどその方法ではシキ自身も死んでしまう。
And considering he'd be a vampire, you need to do vampire things, which isn't good.
だから私の方法はシキ自身を強くするだけ。
Like run away with me, and we'll become the strongest creatures in the universe, kind of
あな
thing.
たがロアより強い
Throw
心を持
away
て
your
ば
humanity.
ロアがどう暴れようと関係ないでしょ。
Another hammer blow strikes my head. Ro is thrashing about inside my brain. Do not let her fool you, he screams. She will turn you into her plaything. Yeah, Ro has gone full MGTOW. He can't be trusted. But also, Arcuid's kind of working, I don't want to say off misconceptions, but... And I don't want to say incomplete information, but she's kind of got the wrong idea going. I heave a deep breath. Don't believe Roa for a second, but right now, Arcuid might be just as much of a threat. She seems unbalanced. Anything she suggests is likely to be reasonable by human standards. Did I read that right? Unlikely to be reasonable by human standards. Yeah, okay. I just lost the ability to read for a second. She says she'll make me strong enough to resist Roa's influence. Whatever that means, numbing me to everything else too. I take off my glasses. With my other hand, I draw my knife from my pocket. I pop out the blade and raise it in front of my face.
シキ。
お断りだ。俺はお前のものになんかならない。
Oh, no, not a slave. You'd get, a salary.
そっか。仕方ないな。
Just more of
な
a
ら力ずくね。
indentured servant. In perpetuity. Her boot clacks on the stone pavement.
あなたには殺されたこともあるし、一度お返しをしてあげなくっちゃって思ってたんだ。
Her pale figure surges forward at me like a burst of wind. With a burst of wind. Don't have a second to hesitate. To think through my options. By the time my brain catches up, I'm battling for my life against one person I never wanted to fight. Sparks fly as my knife clashes against Arcuid's claws. Instinct is all that saves me from death, as her beautiful form surges forward beneath the golden moon. Again, our weapons glance off each other. I can't even follow her movements. Again. I don't sense any lethal intent behind her blows. Okay, I was about to say, sure, you might be souped up in vampire mode. You got buffs to all your stats, but your knife is still just a knife. It may be a cool knife, but it's just a hunk of metal. Arcuid would blow that thing to fucking smithereens, turn it to dust. But, she's pulling her punches, so that explains that. But she doesn't need that to tear me limb from limb. Again, my body moves of its own accord. My mind might as well be blank. I'm like a robot, mindlessly deflecting Arcuid's strikes in pursuit of my prime directive, survival. My lips curl into a sardonic smile. Repulsive as it is, I must be mostly vampire already. Practically unkillable while the sun is down, with physical abilities no human can match. Is Starting to see what Noelle found so appealing. This dizzying freedom would loosen anyone's attachment to their human morals and values. But it's not enough. Even freed from the constraint of thinking, my body can't keep up with Arcuit's frenzied assault. My only real weapon, my eyes, can't help me here. I can't hurt Arcuit when she has no lines of death. It's like she once told me, as long as the moon is high, the very concept of death doesn't exist for her. You just gotta pull a card out of the Yu-Gi-Oh playbook here and shoot the moon! Break the rules of the game. And then you win. My knife is brushed aside. I can't quite avoid the blow bearing down on my shoulder. Fortunately, Arcuit hits me with her palm, not her claws. That's the smallest of mercies. Impact still launches me high into the air. No, she's going for the dunk! No, it's just a knockback. With an ungainly landing, I ready my knife once more. My back is to the wall here. Oh no, she's got him corner trapped. But I still can't see a way out. No matter how hard I squint, I can't make out any lines of death. My throat is burning. My heart is on the verge of exploding. Only now do I realize that, struck with terror by Arcuit's crimson eyes, I've been drawing shallow breaths ever since I arrived.
どう？少しは目が覚めた？
Gotta learn to breathe, man. That's one of the most important things I learned when I was really getting into running for the first time, when I joined the military. Is, when you're just a kid running around the track at PE, unless you're on like the track team or whatever, you just start like huffing and puffing and like not quite hyperventilating, but you know what I mean, just like completely uncontrolled, ragged breathing. But when you're really exerting yourself, you gotta really, really focus and, lock in and be like, just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, keep a rhythm. By contrast, she isn't even out of breath. Pretty insensitive while I'm shutting down from oxygen deprivation over here.
本当に強情ね。それだけの強さがあるんなら、さっさとロアを殺してしまえばよかったのに。
Stop hogging all the oxygen, fucking fat ass.
何言ってるんだ、お前。
My chest heaves as I finally drink in air. Apparently, even vampires need oxygen to make use of their blood reserves. I had no idea.
いいか。
Yes, my vampiric hemoglobin doesn't work in space.
あれだ。要は自殺するってことだ。
So my plan of, putting Ro on a rocket and launching him to deep space might actually work to kill him. If, the issue is then him reincarnating. That defeats my purpose, because the plan was like, well, if we can't kill him and he'll just come back, just launch him, send him somewhere else, like in perpetual orbit around the sun or something, where he's too weak to do anything. But then if he dies, like, is there a limit? Like, how far away does a soul need to be in order to like escape samsara? What's the gravitational pull of reincarnation? If he's over in Alpha Centauri, will he just get reincarnated over there, or will he just kind of hop across space and time back to Earth, because it's the soul, it's magic, I don't gotta explain shit, kind of thing. Asking the real important questions here. Be like sticking a knife into my own heart. If I were to do that, Ro would probably die, and both Arcuit and Ciel would be free from his shadow. There's no way of knowing what that would do to me. Not even sure I can see my own lines of death. Makes sense you'd never want to look to find out. or whether it'd be capable of cutting them. But more to the point,
それができればとっくにやってる。死にたくないから、生き物として弱いから、俺はこんなところまで来ちまったんだろう。
nothing wrong with that, baby. It's what keeps you going. I hiss with irritation as I finally catch my breath. That's strong, huh? How strong would that be? I suppose sacrificing one's own life as an act of resistance takes strength, of a sort, regardless of the morality of it all.
そんな強さは願い下げだよ。悪いけど、そう簡単にお前。
呆れた。そこまで吸血鬼の体になっているのに、まだ人間の基準から抜け出せていないなんて。でもまあ、しょうがないか。人間は停止したら治らないんだもの。そう簡単に考えは変わらないわよね。
Arkwood's voice is tinged with disappointment and pity. Doesn't feel like she's trying to mock or provoke me. Oh god, voice is dying in my throat. Provoke me. Rather, sounds like she's trying to point out something important that I've missed.
あなたがその目をもう一段階深く理解すれば、魂だけを仕留めることだってできる。魂を失った肉体は存在指針をなくして停止してしまうけど、それはあくまで二次的な結果。吸血鬼であれば、肉体は生きてさえいれば蘇生する。あとはどちらの魂が生き残るか。一人分の死の点と二重になっている魂。なら、死に絶えるのは意志が弱い方だと思わない？
Look, man, I don't fucking know.
待て。ちょっと待って。それはどういう。
ダメ。待ったげない。
Oh, come on, you can't throw him off balance like that. You're just confusing the poor kid. Arkwood darts forward like a thunderbolt. Oh, well, you see, it would be a lightning bolt, because thunder is just the sound. Unless... yeah, lightning is faster than thunder, because thunder is just the speed of sound, and lightning is faster than that. I'm smart. Still can't keep pace with her physically, but I've gotten a feel for her speed. Though I know it'll be in vain. I lash out with my knife the instant she vanishes from sight. Its point skitters off her shapely nose. As I feared, not the lines of death I can't even scratch her. She's tough in her own right. It's my own weakness that's the real problem. With Lov's physical and magical capabilities, I would have sent her reeling at least. She comes at me with an imperious overarm swing, wide open and purposely slow. It's obvious she's going easy on me, daring me to challenge her. I'd be crazy to stand here and keep trying to trade blows with Arkwood while I have no hope of landing one. Her bare paw of a swing buffets in the air in front of my face as I leap backwards. Yeah, she's just spamming heavy. I blink in surprise. I only meant to hop back half a meter or so, but I've thrown myself about 5.
そうでなくっちゃ。少しは分かってきたよね、シキ。
It was me who wasn't giving her enough credit. That clumsy swipe was meant to slash, but to launch. I realized this as noting a visible wall of wind closing in on me. It's the same manipulation of natural forces she used to decimate the undead. A whisper in the back of my mind remarks that without any magical defenses, I'd be wrung out like a wet rag. But when it comes too late to make a difference, the impending shockwave fills my vision. They'll catch me if I try to dodge backwards or sideways. There's only one way out. Up. Now we're playing melty. Fucking all about the air game, baby. As soon as the thoughts form, my legs propel me into the air. I cry out in surprise. Unexpectedly high doesn't even begin to describe it. I can see the entire fountain square below me. Must have jumped at least 10 meters straight up.
いや、吸血鬼すごいな。
Decently high, but, you know, not crazy high.
でしょ?
The voice comes from below, from above. I'm not even given a single chance to be startled. A brutal punch sends me crashing back to Earth. Yeah, she did the thing where she launched the projectile, you hopped over, and then she predicted that and, hit you with her anti-air. Playtime's over, Arcwood seems to say. She plants a haymaker square in my chest. My back smacks hard against the ground. Oh, time out! Time out, can't breathe!
休む暇とかあげないから。
Arcwood isn't even close to being done with her punching bag. She follows up with a series of weightier blows. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, 4. Red fish, blue fish, green fish, more? Man, I'm getting old, I forget Dr. Seuss. By the time the 5th comes around, I have nothing left to block with. I was about to get dizzy, he's used all his block meter. Well, of course. He was stupid to expect otherwise. I couldn't have fend off this dizzying flurry in 1,000 years, even without the damage I took from the fall. Despite her breezy tone, Arcwood was as earnest as I'd ever seen her. That was a heartfelt request. Ever since she first showed herself, she's been bracing herself for how I might respond. I misjudged my own abilities and underestimated how much this mattered to her. Against this vampire princess's naked sincerity, my half-baked cluelessness never stood a chance. The back of my head cracks against a paving stone. Arcwood's weight presses down on my shoulders. Checkmate. She's bowled me over and pinned me down before I could even react. Damn, she got your ass in a full pin. Arcwood stares down at me wordlessly. It's over. Dislodging someone of the same body mass who's straddling you is next to impossible. Not that I had any hope in hell of overpowering her anyway. Now she just has to reach out with her claws and crush my head like a grape. But the end doesn't come. She is Ro at her mercy. Me at her mercy. But she just keeps on glaring. The silence grows maddening. Like a thread stretched taut. Like a pallid moon. I swallow unconsciously. She's so close. Can't tell where her breathing ends and mine begins. We're close enough to embrace, and as far from each other as the earth and the moon.
なんだよ。もういいだろ。殺した後で血を吸って、ゾンビにでも何でもしろ。
Better that than the pain of seeing her like this.
命乞いはしないの。宣言撤回とかまだ受け付けてもいいんだけど、殺したら血を吸うしかなくなるわ。あなたが自分から私と契約するのなら、血のやり取りなんてしなくて済む。
そっか。血を吸うのが怖いんだっけ、お前。
I mean that, and she also just doesn't want to kill you.
それはいいけどさ。俺がお前に従うと仮定して、ロアをどうするつもりなんだ。
I mean, he still exists in there, but he's essentially sealed away.
お
He
前
can't do
は俺を
anything.
殺さないって言うけど、俺が生きている限り、ロアは生き続けるんだぞ。
希薄になったロアは放っておいても構わないわ。そうね。だからあなたを見逃してあげてもよかった。
なんだ。遠慮しないで見逃せよ。 俺なんかに構ってないでさ。
Ugh.
早く故郷に帰ってパパを安心さ
A
せ
bit
て
of a touchy subject.
でもね、もともと自分の力なんだから取り戻そうとするのは当然でしょ。それに何より
She shifts on top of me. The weight on my shoulders increases.
私はあなたを殺してロワを眠らせるよりこのまま指揮を取り込みたい。殺してなくしてしまうよりもっと一緒に過ごしたい。前みたいに指揮の声を聞いていたい。
That's why I won't kill you, her crimson eyes beg.
信じられないけど私はあなたが好き、大好きだから助けてあげる。血も吸わないし指揮の嫌がることは決してしない。
Well, that's very considerate of you. Just do what I say, her crimson eyes plead. There's no question that these are her true feelings. Arkwood wouldn't lie. She's too pure of a creature for that. Too honest. Too stupid. So she deserves an honest answer. Aye. Hey, look at that. I'm pretty sure this is where we diverge into normal and normal and extra. Okay, that's what it is. So normal is the Ciel end, and then extra would be. It's different. It's not quite, you know, Ciel good from the original, where it's just kind of like, you know, sure, it's the Ciel route, but we're gonna be with Arkwood anyway because she's the box cover heroine. This is it's more direct, but sorry, folks, we're going normal, regular Ciel all the way here. So let me just pop a Saverino somewhere up here. Sorry, Ark. You had your own route.
お願いだから逆らわないで。私にあなたを殺させないで。
I can hear the desperation in her voice. But I can't give her what she wants. My place isn't with Arkwood anymore. Not because the rules of human society forbid it, but because my heart won't allow it. I am fundamentally incapable of understanding people. I'm just some wretch trapped between life and death, hovering over this threshold until I finally cross it. And yet, she came to me, praising how hard I tried, showing me I had a purpose. Although I can hardly believe it myself. I found someone I care for far more than my own life. I breathe deep and steel myself.
指揮
Her gaze softens just a little, as though to ward off the words she knows are coming.
ダメだ。お前には従わない。
Never imagined her perfect eyes could look so stricken with pain. If I were a good enough liar to deceive myself, I might be able to spare her feelings. No, even then.
どうして指揮がこんなに好きなのにダメなの？
当たり前だろ。今のお前はロアと同じだ。
Yeah, you're being a little obsessive. It's not healthy. To me, the woman in whom I saw eternity was the woman whom I met in the back alley. The woman who smiled for her irredeemable murderer.
だから吸血鬼には従わない。
To conflate this Arkwood with that woman would insult her memory, and that I will not do. I lash out with my knife in a futile act of resistance. The slash lacks serious intent, if not conviction. That's not what stops it dead at her neck. I I physically can't cut through her skin.
やめて。なんで
Her beautiful features contort with misery. My answer must have wounded her beyond measure.
違うもの。違うから。やめて。取り消して。あいつと同じなんかじゃない。いくら好きでも、そんな言葉。
All right, we're in the denial stage. We're working through the steps. We'll get to acceptance eventually. Oof. My headache intensifies in tandem with my self-loathing. I see something at Arcuwood's neck. A line of death, so fine it's barely visible. It must have hurt her so deeply that even here, beneath the golden moon, her armor is cracking. But I can't afford sympathy.
違わない。いいから、頭冷やして出直してこい。
Yeah, you'll get better. Don't worry about it. I take advantage of her distress. Got the line across her throat. Suddenly, I'm free. Arcuwood slumps on top of me, unmoving. Cutting her line of death must have incapacitated her. I extract myself from her pale embrace and back away while I still can. With her weight off me, I can finally breathe. My shoulders heave as I try to calm my hammering heart. I'm unhurt, but I've only bought seconds at best. Knowing Arcuwood's regenerative abilities, she'll get back up and come at me any second. Arcuwood's arms splay wide beneath her own weight. She collapses face first into the stone pavement, looking for all the world like she's sleeping. At the sight of red, my body freezes. I expected blood. I know what it means to cut a throat. But I didn't expect her to keel over so easily like she was human.
アルクエイド。
It's like, it's getting kind of real. She doesn't move. Slowly but steadily, the pool of blood grows wider. It seeps into her clothing, staining her ethereal white and gruesome red. Oh, I couldn't have killed her, could I?
嘘だろ。アルクエイド。そんな。
Yeah, you ever roughhouse and you accidentally, like, as a kid, and you knock someone out? Like, you're just messing around and they fall and, like, they hit their head and they're like, and you're like, ugh. Repressing my instincts to run away, take a step closer, and my breath catches. Her arm jerks. With an unnatural lurch, a single arm plants itself on the ground like a spider's spindly limb. What a nice symmetrical round puddle of blood. The ground here must be extremely level. Props to the engineers and construction crew. I hear a sound. Like the cracking of ice as the world freezes over. Breath and hot blood spill from her throat. Her arm trembles as she forces herself up. Scarlet pours over the ground in a ceaseless torrent. The body silently peels itself off like off the slick stone. Her head rises from the pool of blood. I glimpse her eyes through matted blonde hair. Her sockets are the sunken hollows of a corpse. But in their depths rage crimson fire. Yeah. Give us the red eyes with the golden iris. Red arc. Are you gonna henshin and put on the granny skirt? Her eyes stare wildly at nothing. Too weak to get up with using one hand, she splashes gracelessly back into the pool of blood. Red stains her white clothes with each motion. Again and again. She tries to stand, fails, and falls once more. She almost seems to take pleasure in the pitiful spectacle. I can't move. Arcuit's voice, her person, her will flood unstoppably into my mind. The torrent seizes my frail ego, swamps it, drowns it. The world spins round and round. As I struggle against the vortex, her thoughts surge into my brain. Never have I suffered such pain. Never have I felt such hatred. Ah, how delightful. To unleash this urge burgeoning within me would bring pleasure beyond imagining. It might break you. No, it'll shatter you. This sweet tragedy would tear a hole in my chest, never to heal. I know. I'll dash you to pieces, shell and yoke, so nothing remains. I will permit you no escape. I will show you no mercy. Never again will I lose you, nor the warmth beating of your heart.
待っていて。すぐに殺してあげるから。
Arcuit thrashes about in a pool of her own blood, laughing like a woman gone mad. I can't move. My brain shudders. Stutters, not shudders. He's not taking mental pictures. Staying here means certain death. If I want to live, I have to run. Anywhere will do. Anywhere, so long as it isn't here. But my legs are frozen stiff. What's worse, I know why. It's the fault of my own realism, my own ingrained rationality. I'm as good as dead no matter where I go. My body instinctively knows that flight, the last refuge of the weak, won't save me. The vampire rises jerkily from the pool of blood. I watch helplessly through glazed eyes. The image of a tomato sitting on a plate comes to mind. That's what I must be in her eyes. Ripe, appetizing, powerless to defend myself. Easy prey for a starving beast. A barrage of shooting stars lights up the night. Countless black keys, bane to vampires for centuries, impale Arcuit's defenseless body.
第7の神よ、キヨ。
Ooh, ow! Black whirlwind blasts mercilessly through her torso, the finishing touch on this brutal assault. It happens in an instant. Ciel swoops in from high above to pin Arcuit down with a volley of black keys, then barrels towards her with that oversized stake driver. When whipped black collides with bloodstained white. The dust clears to reveal Ciel's stake driver reduced to scrap by vampiric claws, not before its payload pins Arcuit to the ground. I was about to say, like, oh, maybe it's just rubble, but no, Nanako!
何よこれ何よこれ
She again thrashes at a pool of her own blood. This time I sense blood. She claws at the stake lodged into her chest, but her hands, slick with gore, slide off ineffectively. Perhaps there's something special about that stake that can keep even Arcuate subdued. Hopefully there's like a T at the top of that a stake, like kind of making it a cross shape, haha. But no, that's important. If you've ever seen like boar hunting spears, they have that kind of stake underneath the point. Otherwise, like a raging boar will just run down the shaft and fucking gore you anyway. Just like go the entire length of the spear just to get you.
トーノくん何してるんですかこっ
And
ち
the
です
bar's there to kind of stop that from happening. Voice dripping with the promise of bloody murder. Now they're desperate to galvanize me into action. Together, they break me free from terror's grasp.
先輩
いい
Gotta
です
finish
か
her
ら
off.
早く逃げるんです彼女
Ah,
が杭を
run.
抜く前に早く
Just like when she's pinned down, just kind of look real close and find a point of death. Though I guess the moon's up, so you can't. That's a bit of an issue. She grabs my arm and pulls me after her.
先輩どうして
どうしても何も聞きたいのはこっちの方です
Yeah, he did sneak out.
急いで帰ってきてみれば公園があれでアルケードがあれなんですから
So the overwhelming chill I felt wasn't in my head. The world was actually distorting around me. I'm amazed Ciel managed to keep a clear head in face of such intimidating power.
すみません部屋から出たのは謝ります
Yeah, I actually don't really know much about Arcuate's Marvel Phantasm. It's been a long time since I did wiki diving, and most of my time on the wikis was for Fate stuff, because that's what I was big into back in like high school. Like I like Tsukihime, but it's just kind of like that was kind of the side piece to me.
頭の痛みにどうしても耐えられなくて外に出たらアルクエイドがいてあいつ自分のものになれとか言い出して
Like I know where Marvel Phantasm can do some fucking nutso shit, but like the mechanics behind it is just it's a blank space in my mind.
そうですかアルクエルはロアとトーノ君を混同しているんですねいえそれも覚悟の上ですここでは話になりません急ぎます
Ciel leads me on through the streets. From our bearing, it's easy to guess where we're headed. Our school. I mean, it is a wide open space with no people because it's the middle of the night. Except for maybe a nighttime guard, because Japanese schools are weird apparently, and they either assign a teacher or hire private security to patrol the school at night. Kind of a weird thing to do, but is what it is. The sports field is deathly silent. This late hour, the school feels like an abandoned prayer hall, isolated from the urban noise. Neither Arcuate's blood-stained hellscape, nor the white cocoon blanketing the city, can intrude upon this sacred ground. Not yet, at least.
落ち着きましたかトーノ君
The time being. But, ladies and gentlemen, that time being will have to wait until next time, because we're approaching the end. We're in the last sprint. Comma, however, if we keep going, this video is going to be over like 3 hours long. So, this seems like a good clean cut to make right here before reconvening next time to finish off Ciel's route. Get the normal end, and depending on how long the extra end is, that might be like a bonus video, because I still need to go back and do those dead ends I said I would do, but never did, because I had that bit of delay, and then I'll be honest, I was kind of crashing out. Like, I was not in a good state leading up to the holidays. So that kind of made it tricky to record, but who knows? Maybe, depending on the length, finish off Ciel's route next time, then another episode for the extra end, and then all the dead ends, and then maybe we'll get a bonus scene for collecting. Well, there's no really stamps this time. It's not like Tiger Dojo where you get kind of like a developer kind of message, kind of like, oh yeah, and here's the notes and thoughts from the different staff about this in character by fucking Neko Arkin Ciel Sensei. Who knows? Who knows? I literally don't fucking know, but we'll do all that stuff later after the main story is complete. So I've pretty much said my piece here, so once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Check out the Discord in the description down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye now. Mwah.